Theater creators are known for planning years ahead, building strategies with precision. Yet history often proves that some of the most enduring works are born out of sheer spontaneity. In 2016, Irene Aravina and her colleagues launched what they thought would be a one-night musical experiment. The plan was modest: gather, perform once, share the idea with the audience, and then go home with light hearts. After the first bow, the team exhaled together, unconcerned about what tomorrow might bring. They were simply happy the project had happened at all. But fate, as in many good stories, had its own view of repertoire policy. The play, created for a single evening, refused to leave the stage. Instead of fading into memory, it grew into a phenomenon, a production that has now lasted 10 years. The longevity of Happy Singers is rooted in what the creators call a coincidence of numbers and destinies. Edith, Piaf, and Frank Sinatra were born in the same year, the same month, and according to biographers, even in the same week. In real life, their paths never crossed. They lived on different continents, in different worlds. The play corrected that absence. On stage, Piaf and Sinatra are given a single space beyond time. A mystical backstage concert where two legends finally meet. Here they compete in mastery but also unite in pain, sharing the weight of two lives marked by struggle.
Каждым разом я все счастливее на этом спектакле, потому что он действительно...
Each performance makes me happier than the last because the show just keeps getting more surprising and refined.
Ну, во-первых, 10 лет, за 10 лет очень...
Over the past 10 years, the cast has grown so much. They've become deeper, more mature, and their work now carries real psychological depth, not just musical energy.
С таким, знаете, ощущением не просто такого...
I love this production. It's probably the only one of my projects where I, as a director, can truly just enjoy the show.
Удовольствие. Это, наверное, единственный спектакль, на котором я как режиссер получаю удовольствие на своем спектакле.
10 years marks a turning point for any theatrical project, enough time for youthful illusions to harden into artistry. When the young cast first stepped into the roles of legendary figures back in 2016, they carried themselves with romantic dreams and youthful ease. The stage, however, has its own laws. It accelerates time.
Специально для вас, эксклюзивно, уникальный номер «Тело против закона физики».
When we first staged this performance in 2016, I played it like a dream, with lightness and ease. Now at 40, I understand clearly that acting is immense work, a profession only for those who truly called to it, never for money. Today, 10 years later, I play this performance in a way that feels completely clear and meaningful to me. I truly enjoy inhabiting this role.
Для себя понятно, и мне очень нравится играть эту роль.
Проведем время как прежде. Хочешь, погуляем на берегу, хочешь, потанцуем, поедим мороженое. Я куплю тебе самолет. Она мне сказала, чтобы я ей больше не звонил.
Я вопила от ужаса. Вокруг нас было сотни людей.
Мне кажется, что благодаря нашему режиссеру Галине Пиновой,
Thanks to our director, who's a master of improvisation and independent theater, we've learned to search for something new in every show. That's why we never step on stage unprepared.
артистам вот это ощущение постоянного поиска чего-то нового во время каждого показа.
Each time we discover something fresh that surprises both the audience and ourselves.
Каждый раз придумываем какие-то новые интересные вещи, которые не только удивят зрителя, но и нас друг друга на сцене.
The path of actress Aysalu Azimbayeva has been no less remarkable than the production itself. She joined the project as a young performer, deeply moved by the biography of Edith Piaf. Over the years, her repertoire has expanded to dozens of roles, while her understanding of the French singer's difficult fate has grown far more profound. In many ways, Azimbayeva's own journey of maturity has mirrored the storyline of the play.
Я думаю, за эти 10 лет моего театрального опыта я становлюсь...
My 10-year journey in theater has felt a lot like Edith Piaf's from a street singer to a global star. I first performed this play when I was 28, and it's been fascinating to watch how a person changes over time. Those changes aren't always bright or easy. Life doesn't come with a promise that everything will turn out fine.
И было так интересно, почему люди меняются и становятся такими, какими вот они стали по стечению какого-то времени. Иногда эти изменения, они не такие радужные.
Life doesn't come with a promise that everything will turn out fine. The past decade has brought joyful, inspiring moments, but also dramatic, difficult times that shaped who we are today. That's why Piaf's complicated life makes so much more sense to me now than it did 10 years ago.
Делают нас такими, какими мы являемся на данный момент. Поэтому, конечно же, непростая жизнь Эдит Пиаф для меня сейчас понимается лучше, чем это было 10 лет назад.
Time has taught the actors that life is unpredictable and things rarely go exactly as planned. Over the past 10 years, personal dramas, crises, and achievements have not broken the troupe. Instead, they have deepened the characters with a psychological weight that cannot be imitated. For Aysalu Azimbayeva, portraying Piaf is not about imitation, which she believes is impossible, but about transmitting subtle, personal feelings. Today, the actors perform the scenes of their characters' maturity with particular reverence. When the line is spoken that they are not tired but the end is near, the performers know the true weight of those words, because they themselves have given a huge part of their lives to this stage. At the heart of Happy Singers lies a flawless synthesis, a sound collage and masterful arrangements. On stage throughout the evening is the brilliant big band Jazz House, made up of Kazakhstan's finest jazz musicians. This orchestra breathes in unison with the performers, responding instantly to every shift in tempo, key, or form, turning each show into pure improvisation. The actors admit that at times they don't know where the musical current will carry them next. The music helps them, in real time, to replay hidden fragments of the characters' biographies. Irina Ravina, who performs Piaf's vocal part, finds a scientific and at the same time romantic explanation for this phenomenon.
Все дело в самой структуре музыки.
It all comes down to the structure of music. Music is vibration, and we are vibration. Every molecule in our body vibrates, and every sound resonates within us.
И поэтому все, что звучит, нас так притягивает. Дело в том, что музыка, она является частью...
That's why music draws us in so powerfully. It's quite literally a part of who we are. A person cannot exist without it because we ourselves are that very vibration. Whether it's song, a composition, or a musical production, we are drawn to it because we are part of that universal music.
Мы являемся сами частью музыки всемирной.
The influence of Happy Singers has long gone beyond box office success. Over 10 years, the project has effectively shaped a new direction in Kazakhstan's musical theater. Across the country, new productions are emerging, openly inspired by its structural approach and the idea of blending live sound with dramatic action. The show proved to the industry that a musical performance doesn't have to be a traditional Broadway-style musical. It can be a flexible, living form.
Мне кажется, я придумала имя. Piaf!
Inside the production, transformation has been constant. The structure was never static. Renowned guest musicians were regularly invited, venues changed, new songs were added, and narrative elements rearranged. This flexibility and readiness for change allowed the show not only to survive, but to set trends in its genre.
Вы знаете, для меня, честно говоря, с одной стороны и удивительно, и неудивительно.
For me, it's both surprising and not surprising that people come to see the show 5, 6, even 10 times. It's like songs. People love to hear them again and again.
Мы исполняем песни. Люди же любят слушать песни там не один раз, скажем так, а несколько. И вот этот спектакль, он...
This performance has become one of those productions the audience truly loves. And the most important thing is that it's musical, but not in the usual sense of a musical. Everything is created live on stage, born right before the audience's eyes.
Мюзикл — это действительно музыкальный спектакль. Все творится и происходит на сцене, все рождается непосредственно на глазах у зрителя.
The extraordinary demand for the production today is explained by the values it conveys, values that have become rare. In a world starved of simple human warmth, this show radiates unconditional love for life, instantly understood by the audience without words. It proves that genuine human emotions on stage can never be replaced by even the most advanced digital content.
Вокальное трио под названием «Три туза».
Потому что это живое, потому что живое не победит цифровой контент.
This production is alive, and no digital content can ever replace something that has a soul. Joy, happiness, a pure love for life, it's all woven into this show. We live in a world starved for love right now, love between people, love for the world and for life itself. There is so much fear and anxiety out there, but this performance is bursting with love.
К жизни. Сегодня столько страха и тревоги, что этот спектакль заряжен просто этой любовью. И мне кажется, что...
I truly believe that Piaf and Sinatra, who loved life so deeply, are looking over us and giving us their blessing.
В этом моменте поддерживают. Уж очень они любили жить.
At the heart of the story are two extraordinary lives, both marked by fame and personal pain. Edith Piaf lost her only daughter and endured a dramatic, difficult fate. Yet her defining trait, which actress Aysalua Zimbayeva strives to convey on stage, was her ability to treat life lightly despite its blows. Frank Sinatra, by contrast, is portrayed as a relentless careerist who made himself through sheer persistence. Without natural vocal brilliance, he worked tirelessly to become the #1 voice. His example shows that everyone faces crises, but must gather themselves and move forward.
Мне кажется, Эдит Пиаф умела очень легко относиться к жизни, потому что у нее действительно
I think what made Edith Piaf who she was her ability to take life lightly, even though things were incredibly hard for her. She was famous, rich, and loved deeply, but she just made it all look so easy. To me, that was her real nature. Whenever I play her, I always keep that in mind. I'm not trying to copy her. You can't do that. I'm just bringing my own feeling of her to the stage.
Потому что это в принципе невозможно, мы с ней два разных человека. Но это, скорее всего, мои ощущения ее, которые я передаю на сцене.
Пришлось вернуться в Париж и просить помощи у Раймона отца.
казалось, уже сейчас я могу сказать, спустя много времени работы в театре,
After years in theater, observing life and recreating it on stage, I've realized that everyone goes through difficult stages that make them better. No matter what, a person is created to be human.
как ни крути, человек, мне кажется, создан быть
At some point, whether at 30, 40, or even 80, before meeting God, one must understand, I am human and I must change something.
он должен все равно понять, я человек, и я там что-то делал не так, и поэтому
Sinatra to me is a great example of how to gather yourself and keep moving forward.
и, не останавливаться.
In theaters, success is always measured by audience interest, and Happy Singers has achieved it in unique form. Viewers return 5, even 10 times, much like replaying favorite songs. This constancy has become a hallmark of the production, with the audience remaining loyal and unchanged over the years. Such devotion is the highest mark of quality, proving that sincerity and truth, values that resonated a century ago, continue to work powerfully today.
Спектакль становится легче, ярче. Это уникальность «Счастливых поют», потому что он не
The
становится...
show just keeps getting lighter and brighter. That's what makes Happy Singers so special. It doesn't get heavier with age, it lifts you up.
Ну, как воздух, наверное, вот таким, знаете, сгусток воздуха.
It feels like fresh air, a thick, uplifting air that you just want to breathe in. That's the real magic of this production.
Дышать, в котором хочется дышать. Вот мне кажется, что это уникальность этого спектакля.
The secret of this enduring appeal lies in the chemistry of the actors. Everything is born live before the audience, turning each performance into a living process. Originally conceived as a double portrait of two great figures, the flexible structure has captivated generations. 10 years on, the theater is filled both with veterans who know every scene by heart and newcomers seeing it for the first time. Proof that the show never leaves anyone indifferent.
Тема любви и любви к жизни, наверное, прежде
The main theme is love, above all, a love for life. Despite any crisis, personal setback, or social change, we have to keep loving life and live it to the fullest, making every single second count. Today, that feels more relevant than ever.
секунду. Вот мне кажется, сегодня это особенно созвучно.
Потому что они были честные. И та правда, которая была актуальна 100 лет назад, она является актуальной и
They were honest. The truth that mattered 100 years ago is just as important today. They risked their own happiness for the sake of sincerity, and in return, they achieved immortality.
И я думаю, это отплатилось им просто славой в веках.
И получается, ты попадаешь в
It
историческое...
feels like you are stepping into a remarkable moment in history, where a great icon from the past asks you, "How are you doing today? How's your life going?" And then they give you advice on how to sing, how to grow. It turns into real dialogue between our heroes and the audience.
Как нужно там развиваться, то есть идет диалог со зрителем наших героев.
Не знаю, знал ли, думал ли Фрэнк Синатра о том, что...
I don't know if Sinatra even thought he'd still be famous decades later. I think the secret is to do everything sincerely and never give up. Find what you love, pursue it, and strive for mastery, for perfect form. Always keep searching, never stop. Only then can people remain in the memory of others for a long time.
Идеальной какой-то, идеальной формы, быть в поиске, никогда не останавливаться. Мне кажется, только так люди могут остаться надолго в памяти других людей.
Юрий Александрович Якушев, директор театра Лермонтова.